As we have derived the exact hybrid model for a common emitter transistor, and then from that model we could simplify it to a smaller version in which we have removed that output conductance HOE, and we could also eliminate the dependent voltage source HRE into VCE. Okay, so we short circuit that dependent voltage source and we have removed that conductance and we have obtained the simplified hybrid model. Okay, so in today's class we'll be discussing about how to draw the approximate model for any kind of transistor configuration. Okay, so from the earlier diagram, so I have three terminals: base, emitter, and then collector. Okay, so this entire simplified circuit can be redrawn in this format. Okay, so if you remove the source voltage and the source resistance, and if you remove the load resistance and all those things, if you only consider the transistor terminals alone, then we have the terminals emitter, base, and collector. In this emitter, base, and collector, between base and emitter, between this terminal base and emitter, we have only one element connected, which is nothing but your HIE, and the current passing through this HIE is nothing but your base current IB. The same thing we are drawing over here. So between base and emitter, we have only one element, which is HIE, and the current through the HIE is IB. Now coming back to the output circuit, between collector and emitter, we have only one element, which is your dependent current source HFE into IB. Okay, and the current passing through this network is IC. Okay, so that's what we are keeping. So between your collector and emitter, we have one dependent current source HFE into IB, and the current flowing through this network between node C and node E is current IC. Okay, so this is for your general transistor. Now based upon which type of configuration we require, we may connect the terminals now. So if we require common emitter transistor, we'll give you a input signal between the nodes base and emitter. We'll take the output between the nodes collector and emitter. Okay, now if you require a common base kind of a transistor, then we'll give the input signal between this emitter and base, and we'll take the output signal between the collector and base. Okay, so if you require common collector kind of a circuit, then we'll be giving input signal between your base and collector, and we'll be taking the output signal between the emitter and collector. Okay, so we have these three terminals we have. So based upon on between which two terminals we are giving the input signal, between which two terminals we are taking the output signal, we can determine the transistor configuration. Okay, so for example, this is the approximate model we have. So if you want to have a common base configuration, so what we need to do is we need to give the input signal. So we need to give the input signal between these two terminals. Okay, so your base will be grounded. Your base will be grounded. You're going to give the input signal. Say I have voltage source and let it be with a source resistance. Okay, so if it is with the source resistance, let it be. So voltage source resistance we have between your emitter and base. Okay, and then you also have HIE between your emitter and base. You have your HIE. Same thing we are writing over here. Between base and emitter, you have HIE. Between base and emitter, you have voltage source with source resistance RS. So we are connecting these two terminals, and then output will be collected from the collector and base terminals. So output will be collecting from these two terminals. Okay. So between these two terminals, between your emitter and collector, however, you have a HFE into IB, which is your dependent current source. Okay. Now you are connecting the load resistor RL between these two terminals. Okay. So if you redraw the circuit, this is how we get this. So this is your CB configuration. You are grounding the base terminal, and between your base and emitter you are connecting the input supply. So this supply is Vs with internal resistance Rs, and output terminals are nothing but your collector and base. So between this collector and base you are connecting your load resistor RL. That's it. Okay, so you can, so where you are connecting the source voltage, where you are taking the load resistor, so based upon that you can define your configuration. Similarly, if you are going for a common collector configuration, so for a common collector configuration, you know that you need to give the input between your base and collector. So there should be your voltage source with resistance Rs between these two terminals, and you need to connect your load resistor RL between your emitter and collector. So you will be connecting your RL over here. Okay, same thing is happening. So this diagram represents the same thing. So you have a collector terminal common and it is grounded. Between your collector terminal and base terminal you have your Vs and Rs. Okay, and also between your collector and base terminal you also have two more elements. Okay, one is your HIE through which current IB is flowing, and then you have a emitter node, this is your emitter node, and then you have a HFE into IB dependent current source. Okay, just we are redrawing the circuit from a generalized approximate model. Now let us discuss the hybrid model for a CB amplifier. So till now whatever we discussed in the last class, it is more only about the CE amplifier. Now we'll be discussing regarding the CB amplifier. In the CE amplifier, you know that whenever you're giving a sinusoidal signal, it will be at the output terminals you will be getting the sinusoidal signal but with a phase shift of 180 degrees, right? So if you go back and see the diagram, you can see that input I am giving the sinusoidal signal, the output I am getting the sinusoidal signal with a phase shift of 180 degrees because it's a CE transistor, you will be seeing a phase shift. Whereas if you are going for the CB or CC transistors, you will not be seeing any such kind of phase shift. So if you are giving a sine signal, you will be getting a sinusoidal signal. If you are giving a cosine signal, you will be getting a cosine signal. So there will not be any kind of phase shift. Okay, so this is your common base transistor. We have the base terminal grounded, this is your base terminal grounded, and then you are giving the input supply and you are taking the output across your collector base terminals. Okay, so input signal is applied between emitter based circuit while output signal is taken from collector based circuit. The emitter junction is forward bias with the help of your battery VEE. So here we are considering a what type of transistor is this in the diagram? Please respond. What type of transistor you are seeing in this diagram? Whether it's an NPN transistor or a PNP. I'm asking about
NPN.
NPN or PNP.
NPN, sir.
NPN.
NPN.
NPN, sir.
NPN. How you are telling that NPN? You should tell based upon this arrow mark. So if the arrow mark between the emitter and base is headed towards emitter, it means that emitter is n-type. If the arrow mark is headed towards the base, it means that base is n-type. Here arrow mark is towards the emitter, it means that emitter is n-type. So it's a NPN transistor. Okay, it's NPN transistor. So if you want to forward bias a emitter, you need to give a negative voltage at the emitter terminal. That's why you're connecting VEE with a negative battery. Terminal of the battery is connected to the emitter such that emitter junction is forward bias. Similarly, for the collector junction to be reverse bias, you have to connect the positive terminal of the battery to the collector. Okay, because for n-type material you need to connect the positive supply in order to make it reverse biased. So your collector base junction is reverse biased. So we are using this common base amplifier in the active region. Okay, so operating point or quiescent point can be adjusted by adjusting these resistances RE, and by choosing proper RE and RC values you can adjust your operating point. So operating point or quiescent point is nothing but when you do not have any kind of AC input signal, only you have the bias voltage, DC bias voltages, then what are the values that you are obtaining from the DC load line is nothing but your operating point. Okay. Now if you draw the hybrid model, so this will be a hybrid, exact hybrid model. So you have your VSRS, you have the input terminal as emitter, common terminal as base, output terminal as collector, and instead of HRE VCE that we have written earlier, now we are writing it as HRB VCB. Also this should be HIB. Okay, and input current is IE. Okay, output current is IC. Input voltage is VEB, output voltage is VCB. You can see that subscript B. So B implies that I am writing a common base configuration. So everything else, the circuit diagram is everything is same. Only I have only changed the subscript. Earlier I have written the subscript E. Now I am using the subscript B. Okay. Now coming to circuit operation, when no signal is applied, output would be at quiescent point. Now consider that signal is applied between emitter and base. For the positive half of the applied signal, the forward bias is decreased. Why the forward bias is decreased? Why the forward bias is decreased? Please tell me. Why the forward bias is decreased? Can anyone answer this question? Why the forward bias is decreased for the positive half cycle of the
NPN
input?
transistor.
It's NPN transistor. So what happens?
Reverse bias.
So this should be a reverse voltage should be applied at the emitter terminal, right? So already we are giving that reverse voltage VE or negative voltage VE. So as long as this terminal voltage is at negative voltage, this emitter base junction will be will be forward biased. Okay. But now if you are adding a positive value to it, so something like you have a -5 value. So let us say that your VE is equal to -5 volts, then your emitter base junction is forward bias. Now if you are adding a input signal, a positive input signal, let us say that a 2 volt signal. If you are adding that value, then your effective voltage is now reduced to 3 volts. So the effective forward bias voltage across the emitter base junction is now reduced. So that's what we are talking about here. So VEB is already negative with respect to ground, and if you are adding that positive signal, now your effective forward bias voltage will be decreased. So forward bias voltage will be decreased. Okay, if the forward bias voltage is decreased, your base current is also decreased. So if the IB is decreased, again it will have impact on IC and IE, because you know that IC is nearly equal to beta times IB. If your IB is decreasing, it will have an impact on IC, and you also know that IC is nearly equal to IE, if not exactly equal. So obviously both IC and IE values will also be decreased. And also coming to the voltage drop across your RC. So what is RC? Let us go back and see. So it's a voltage drop across your load terminals. So this is VCB. Okay. Your voltage drop across your RC. It is also decreased. So why it is decreased? Your voltage drop across RC is nothing but ICRC. Because your IC has been reduced, your ICRC will IC into RC value will also be reduced because IC is reduced. Because of this reduction, your VCB value is increased. Why your VCB value is increased means VCB is nothing but if you apply the KVL here, this is your VCB. So VCB is nothing but VCC minus ICRC. So if this value is decreased, okay, then this value will be increased. Okay. So your VCB value is going to increase. Thus, if your VCB value is increased, it means that you are getting a positive half cycle. Okay, so what the basic thing you need to remember over here is there is no phase reversal or there is no phase shift. No phase shift between input and output. So if you are giving a positive half cycle, you will be getting a positive half cycle. If you are giving a negative half cycle, you will be getting the negative half cycle only. Okay. Now coming to the amplifier gains. So earlier we have already derived the current gains for your common emitter transistor. If you remember, so what is the current gain formula for a common emitter transistor? Even if you do not remember, I can go back and we can see what are the amplifications that we have obtained earlier. So because these are all derivations, you need to practice these things. Nobody can remember this without any practice. So please mute. Please mute. So do not unmute unless you want to ask some doubt. Okay. Okay. So what is the current gain we obtained in the last class? Is AI is equal to minus HFE by 1 plus HOE into RL. So it's a HFE is a forward. So current gain is there divided by 1 plus this conductance into the resistance is there. Okay. So same thing we will be writing in this also we will be writing AIB is equal to minus HFB by 1 plus HOB into RL. For the common base amplifier also we will be writing the same thing. So let us check that whether we are getting the same thing or not. So we have written the same thing, minus in place of HFE we are writing HFB divided by 1 plus in place of HOE we are writing HOB into RL. Similarly for our input resistance also we are writing RAB is equal to HIB minus HRB into HFB into RL by 1 plus HOB into RL. And then voltage gain. So voltage gain is nothing but your output voltage to the input voltage ratio, which we have obtained in the last class. AVB is equal to AVE we have obtained minus HF into RL by HIE plus delta H into RL. Now here instead of E will be writing replacing with B, where delta H is nothing but HIB into HOV minus HRB into HFE. So this entire thing I think we have written in the last class itself. And then output resistance. Output resistance is equal to RS plus HIB by HOB into RS plus HOB into HIB minus HRB into HFB. So for anything in your examination point of view, they may ask you the derivation of this current gains. So what are the derivation that we have done for the in the last class, that is the same thing you need to repeat. Only thing is that you need to replace this subscript. Instead of writing as emitter, you will be writing it for a common base configuration. That's the only thing difference. And then you have the additional term we are learning in this class is power gain. So power gain is nothing but your voltage gain into current gain. Okay, so your APB is equal to, you can simply multiply these two terms AIB with AVB. Okay, it's a current gain into voltage gain will give you the power gain. So if you multiply these two things, it will be HFB by 1 plus 1 plus HOB RL into HFB RL by HIB plus delta H RL. The same thing we are writing over here. Okay. And then coming to the common collector configuration. Again in the common collector configuration also we are not going to see any kind of phase shift. So if we are giving the sinusoidal signal, we are obtaining the same sinusoidal signal without any kind of phase shift. There is no kind of phase reversal. Okay. And then again here the emitter base junction should be forward biased. Okay. And then collector base junction should be reverse biased. So emitter base junction is forward biased with the help of battery VEE, and collector base junction is reverse biased with the help of battery VCC. So at the collector, this is NPN transistor. So we are giving positive battery VCC and we are giving a negative battery VEE. So this is your common collector configuration hybrid model. Again, we will be discussing the circuit operation. What happens when no signal is applied? The output will be at the quiescent point or at the operating point. If you are applying the signal for the positive offset of the applied signal, here the forward bias will be increased. Unlike in the common base configuration, here the forward bias will be increased. So let us see why the forward bias will be increased. Okay, so if you are giving the positive voltage over here at the input terminals, if you are giving the positive supply, here we are already having a positive voltage VCC. So we are going to increase the overall voltage, positive voltage across this base and collector. So your reverse bias is going to be increased further. Okay, and also your VBE is positive with respect to ground and it also be increased. So whenever you are giving the positive half cycle, your current base current IB is going to increase, which will also result in increase in the current IE, and which will result in increase in the voltage drop RE. Here also there will not be any kind of phase reversal. Okay. Again we will be writing the gains of the amplifier in the same way like we did earlier. We are only replacing this subscript. Instead of emitter we will be writing the subscript as collector. So AS is equal to minus HFC by 1 plus HOC into RL. So even you will be asked to do some numericals based upon this formula. So you need to practice this formula. You need to remember them. Okay. Now with this, the common emitter configuration, common base and common collector are over. Now one more small subtopic is left over. That is nothing but your conversion of this hybrid parameters. So conversion means that if you are given a common emitter configuration, hybrid parameters for common emitter configuration, like you are given HIE value, HFE value, HRE value, HOE value. So using these parameters, you need to find out what will be the hybrid parameters if you are connecting the transistor in common base configuration. So you need to find out HIB in terms of HIE, HFE, HRE and HOE. Similarly, you need to find out what is HRB in terms of the hybrid parameters in common emitter configuration. Okay, so that will be the conversion of hybrid parameters from common emitter to common base and from common base to common emitter. So I'll be discussing at least one conversion in today's class. Okay, I'll close the PPT. Is my screen visible to you?
Sir.
Yes, right. So these things I have already written the notes. I will be sharing the notes today in the canvas. So please read the question displayed on the screen. Please read the question given on the screen that you are watching. Please read out. Are you able to see my screen or not? Please respond. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please read out the question given here.
Convert any two H parameter of CB configuration in terms of H parameter of CE configuration.
Right, so that's what I was talking about. You need to find out HIB value in terms of this HIE, HRE, HFE and HOE values. Okay, so that's the question asking us to derive. Okay, so let us see that. So first we need to draw the CE configuration and then we need to convert into a CB configuration. So we need to transform the existing CE configuration into a CB configuration by changing the some of the elements. Okay, so you already know about the CE configuration. We have an input voltage VBE, we have input current IB, you have the HIE, HRE into VCE, and then again HFE into IB, and then your output resistance is equal to 1 by HOE, and the output current is IC in the common emitter configuration. Okay, if you want to change it to a common base configuration, your common terminal will be your base terminal. Now, the only thing you need to do is you need to transform this existing configuration, right? So you will not be changing any of these connections. Only thing that you are going to do is you are going to connect the ground to the base terminal and you will be taking the input from the emitter terminal, you are taking the output from the collector terminal. So all other elements will be as it is, the connections. Okay. Now tell me what are the elements you are seeing between your emitter and base terminal. What are the elements you are seeing in the common emitter configuration? What are the elements that you are seeing over here? What are these elements? What are these elements that you are seeing? Please spell out.
HIE,
HI
HRE,
is there,
VC.
right? So you have a resistor HIE and you have a dependent voltage source HRE into VCE, right, between your emitter and base. Okay, the same thing we are writing over here. So from starting from emitter terminal, if you are moving towards the base, first I am coming across the dependent voltage source. So from the emitter terminal, when I am moving to the base, I am writing the HRE into VCE. And then I am coming across this HIE. These two are in series. So that's why I am writing the HIE is also as series. So this is your emitter terminal, this is your base terminal. In between you are writing these two elements. Okay. Now keep this aside. Now check what are the elements connected between your terminals, emitter and collector. So what are the elements connected between your collector and emitter? You have a HFE IB, you have a resistance 1 by HOE, right? Can you see them? Please respond.
Sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So between your collector and emitter, you are having two elements. Both the elements are in parallel to each other, right? So this is your emitter terminal, this is your collector terminal. Between these two terminals, we have two elements. So one is the HFE IB, one is the resistance, and also current direction in the current dependent current source is from collector towards the emitter. So that's why the current arrow mark is also from collector towards the emitter. Okay. And at the end of this collector terminal, you have the current IC. This is your IC current we are representing over here. Now this is a transformed CB configuration. So we have obtained the CB configuration beginning with the CE configuration. Okay. Now you can see that although it's a CB configuration, you have all the elements in terms of HIE or HRE or HFE or HOEs, right? Now we will be able to write some kind of either KVL equations or KCL equations, or we need to transform this circuit again in order to get the relations between your HIE IB in terms of your HIEs or HFEs or HOEs and so on. Okay. Now you have a current source parallel to your resistor, right? So can you transform into a voltage source? How to transform a current source into a voltage source? Please respond. How to transform a current source into a voltage source?
Voltage source in series with the resistance.
Right. So if, for example, if you have a current source IS in parallel with the resistor RS, okay. So if you want to do the source transformation, now it will become a voltage source, okay, in series with resistor RS. So RS will be the same, whereas the voltage source will be equal to Vs will be equal to Is into RS, isn't it? This is how you are going to do the source transformation, right? Please respond. Please respond. Yes, right. So we need to multiply the current source value with the resistance value. So here the current source value is HFE into IB. And the resistance value is 1 by HOE. So we'll be multiplying HFE IB into 1 by HOE. Okay. So what is the voltage source that we are going to get is HFE into IB by HOE. Okay. In series with the resistance 1 by HOE. So we need to redraw this circuit diagram. So instead of the parallel branch, we are getting a series branch. In series branch, we have the dependent voltage source whose value is equal to HFE into IB by HOE, and the series resistance is 1 by HOE. And coming to the polarities, if you want to mention the polarities, know that if the arrow mark is headed so towards the arrow mark symbol, we will be writing the positive terminal, okay, and the other one will be writing the minus symbol. So because the current is in this portion, in this direction, this will be the plus direction, this will be the minus. Okay. So this will be the positive terminal. You can consider this should be the negative terminal. Okay. So now we have two voltage sources and you have two resistances. One resistance HIE you have, other resistance 1 by HOE you have. Okay. And then you have the input voltage VEB, you have the output voltage VCB. Okay. Now you can consider this to be the equivalent to that of a two-port network. So if you consider this entire thing as a black box, you can write the two-port network equations in terms of your hybrid parameters. So I'll be writing. So what is the hybrid parameters equations? Input voltage is equal to, input voltage is a function of input current and output voltage, isn't it? If you remember the last before last class, we have written input voltage as a function of input current comma output voltage, and then we have written the output current as a function of input current and output voltage. This is how we are going to write the hybrid parameters, right? So here input voltage is VEB. So we are writing VEB is equal to HIB into input current is IE plus HRB into VCB. Output voltage is VCB. And then output current for this network is IC. So we'll be writing IC is equal to HFB into IE plus HOB into VCB. Okay. Now, what will be your HIB value? Please respond. What will be your HIB value? How to define HIB? When your HIB value will be defined? Please respond.
VCB will be 0.
So when you keep VCB equal to 0, HIB value will be equal to VEB by IE. Okay. Similarly, when VCB is equal to 0, you can define HFB value is equal to IC by IE. So what we are going to do is, we are going to take the condition when VCB is equal to 0. When VCB equal to 0, you will be getting two values, HIB value and HFB value. HIB is equal to VEB by IE, input voltage by input current. HFB value is current gain, output current by input current. Okay. Similarly, if you make the input current as 0 or you are making the input circuit as an open circuit, in such a case, you will be getting the values of HRB value and HOB value. HRB is equal to VEB by VCB. It's a reverse voltage gain. That is, we are writing input voltage by output voltage. And then HOB is nothing but your conductance, output conductance. That is IC by VCB. So these two values are getting when you are making the input current as 0. Okay. So to write these values like VCB is equal to 0 or I equal to 0, we need to have some equations, right? So to get this equation, we are going to write the KVLs. So we have two circuits here. You have input circuit or an input loop, we have an output loop. So we are going to write the KVL equations, two KVL equations. KCL also. Okay. So at node E, so I'll be erasing all those things. Okay. So at this terminal, okay, what are the incoming currents? At this terminal E, this terminal is E. What are the incoming currents? Please
IE,
respond.
IC, IB.
So all the currents are incoming. So are there any outgoing currents? Are there any outgoing currents?
No, sir.
No. So if you have the KCL equation, what does the KCL equation say? Sum of the incoming currents is equal to sum of the outgoing currents. So sum of the incoming currents are IE plus IB plus IC equal to outgoing currents. Outgoing currents are 0. So this is the KVL equation that you are going to write. Next, we need to write the KVL equation. Now tell me the KVL equation for your input loop for this loop. Tell me the KVL equation.
VAB is equal to.
So do not directly tell in terms of VE equal to, you write as a complete loop. So I am beginning over here. I am moving in the clockwise direction, or the observer is moving in the clockwise direction. Okay. First I am moving from negative terminal to positive terminal. So it is plus VEB. Next I have come over here. Here this is minus, this is plus. So again minus to plus, it is plus HRE into VC. Next I have current opposing to the observer. Current IB is opposing to the direction of the observer. So if the current is opposing, we will be writing as drop or rise in voltage. We will be writing it as rise in voltage, right? So we will be writing it as plus HIE into IB. So again we have come back to the original state. So we will write it as equal to 0. Okay. Is this KVL equation correct, or do you have any doubts regarding this KVL equation? Please respond. Are you okay with this equation? Now can you similarly write for the output circuit? For the output circuit? For the output circuit, what will be the KVL equation? For the output circuit, what will be the KVL equation? You can start from here. You can go in this direction. In anti-clockwise manner. If I start from the base. So first it is plus VCB.
plus.
Next it is minus to plus HFE IB by HY. This is also a voltage source. Next we have current in 1 by HYE is IC. IC in the observer, both are in the same direction. So it will be we have to write a minus sign. It is minus IC by HYE. Next we are coming across a voltage source. Again from minus to plus, it is plus HRE into VC. Okay. Again you have plus HIE into IB equal to 0. Okay. So same equation we are going to see. So let us check that. So plus VEB plus HRE VCE plus HIE into IB equal to 0. For the output loop, plus VCB plus HFE by HOE into IB, and then minus IC by HOE, and then here instead of writing these two things, we have written directly this voltage. So voltage across these two terminals is your VEB, right? So we have directly written minus VEB over there. Now what we need to do, if you want to get the HIB value, if you want to get the HIB value, what we need to do? We need to write VCB value as 0, right? Are you following? Please respond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we have to replace VCP value as 0. So if you write VCP value as 0, so let us see what happens. So VCP equal to 0 implies that we can rewrite the VCP as VCE plus VEB equal to 0. Can we write like this? Because E is a common terminal. Okay. So what is VCB? If you write VCE plus VEB, can we write like that?
Yes.
Right. So it will be VC equal to minus VEB. Okay. Now we will be replacing this value in all these equations. Okay. So if we replace this VC equal to minus VEB in equation number 2, in equation number 2, we are replacing VC equal to minus VEB. Okay. So in this position, we are going to replace it as minus VEB. Okay. So if I have replaced, what we are going to get is VEB into 1 minus VEB, 1 minus HRE plus HIEIB equal to 0. So from this we are going to get a relationship between VEB and IB. So VEB equal to minus HIE, this we are taking to the denominator, 1 by 1 minus HRE into IB. Okay. Now again we need to replace VCB equal to 0 in the equation number 3. So if you replace VCB equal to 0 in this equation, this becomes 0. So you will be left out with HFE by HOE IB minus IC by HOE minus VEB equal to 0. Okay. Now because we already obtained a relationship between VEB and IB, we are going to replace this VEB value in terms of IB. So if we replace this, you'll be getting HFE by HOE IB minus IC by HOE plus HIE by 1 minus HRE into IB equal to 0. Okay. Now we got this equation. In this equation, we have two current terms. One is the IC and other is IB. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to replace the IC in terms of IE and IB. From the KCL we already got that IE plus IB plus IC equal to 0. From this we will be writing IC equal to minus of IE plus IB and then replace it again in this equation. Okay. So if you replace this, now you are left out with only two currents, IE and IB. So you are going to get a relationship between IE and IB. Okay. So after taking the LCM, if you write the relationship between IE and IB, you can write IE as minus IB into 1 plus HFE into 1 minus HRE plus HIE HOE by 1 minus HRE. So I think all these expressions may look absurd, but they will be much more clear only when you are keeping your pen on paper. Okay. So all you are going to do is simply taking the LCM. Okay. So we are taking the LCM, we are getting this relationship. Now you have equation for IE, you have equation for VEB. Okay. And now you know that what is the definition of HIB? What is the definition for HIB? You are seeing. Please respond. Please respond quickly. Hello. Please respond. What is the relationship between HIB and what's the relationship for HIB? Please respond. Am I audible?
VEB by IE.
VEB by IE, right? When we are taking VCB equal to 0. So we already got an expression for VCE. Sorry. We have got an expression for VEB. We have got an expression for IE. Okay. We are dividing to both these equations. So we have got this equation, fifth equation. And then we have got the equation number 6. Okay. So if you divide these two equations, we will be left out with, so in this equation you have IB, so IB gets cancelled, and also you have in the denominator 1 minus HRE. Here also you have 1 minus HRE. Both this 1 minus HREs will get cancelled. Minus minus gets cancelled. You will be left out with HIE HOE plus 1 plus HFE into 1 minus HRE. Okay, so you have derived this now HIB. Okay, now you need to derive for HEFB. So if you want to get the HFB, first replace the value of IE. So what is IE value? So IE value is minus IB. So this entire equation is there, right? Now in this equation, you will be replacing. So in this equation, you will be replacing IC. So IC equal to minus IE plus minus IE minus IB, right? So IB value will be replacing over here. So if you replace, you'll get a lengthy expression like this. Okay. So you are finally getting an expression relationship between IC and IE. Now tell me what's the definition of your HFB? What is HFB basically? What is HFB? HFB is nothing but your forward current gain. So what is the forward current gain? Output current by input current. What's the output current in common base configuration? What's the output current in a common base configuration?
IC.
Input current? Input current is IE, right? So we get a ratio of IC and IE, we are going to get B. So just by replacing these equations again and over again and again, we are going to get a relationship between IC and IE. Now if you bring this IE to the left hand side, it will become IC by IE. Okay, and then you are getting the relationship. This ratio is nothing but your HFB value. It's a lengthy term, but you need to remember this for exam point of view. Otherwise, if you have enough time, you can derive this even during the examination. But if you have to solve the numericals, you may have to remember the relationship. Okay. Now, what we have done is, for when VCP equal to 0, we have derived HIB value and HFB value. Now, similarly, if you are keeping the input current I is equal to 0, we may again get the relationship for HRB and HOB. Okay. We will be keeping I equal to 0. Again, we will be rewriting the equations. Okay, to obtain finally HRB value and HOB value. Okay. So finally, so if you do the derivation, so I need you to try this derivation at home. So I'll be sending you this document. You try this derivation. So finally you will get these expressions. So I know all these expressions are lengthy expressions, but to solve the numericals, you need to know these expressions. Okay. So this derivation will be asked for an essay answer. Okay. So once you got these expressions, again you can simplify these expressions by removing your HRE value and HOE value. So in the last class itself, we are told that for a simplified hybrid model, we'll be removing the output conductance HOE value and your reverse voltage gain value HRE. We are removing that HRE into VCE term, right? So if you remove this term, if you neglect this value and this value, HOE terms, so what you are left out with, HIB is nearly equal to HIE by 1 plus HFE. Similarly, here if you remove this term and if you remove this term, you'll be left out with HIE HOE by 1 plus HFE minus HRE. 1 plus HFE, 1 plus HFE gets cancelled. You'll be left out with minus HRE. This term you are getting. Here also, if you remove the HRE term, you will be neglecting this. You will be neglecting this. Okay, so that you'll be left out with minus HFE by 1 plus HFE. Then in this expression again, you are neglecting 1 minus HRE value, HIE, HOE value. You'll be left out with HOE by 1 plus HFE. Okay, so this derivation we are done from common emitter to common base. Similarly, one more question is there where we are converting common base configuration into common emitter configuration. So there is nothing much to explain. Basically, we are writing the KVL equation. We are taking one parameter is equal to 0 and we are getting two hybrid parameters. Okay, once we are making voltage is equal to 0 and we are getting two parameters. If we are taking current is equal to 0, we are getting two more parameters. Okay, so except these derivations, so these derivations are nothing but replacing this equation and reiterating them again and again. Okay, except that there is nothing much to explain. So I'll be sharing this document today, so I need you to practice at home. Okay, so if you have any doubts you can ask me, otherwise I'll call it a day.